PEGI 18.
Greetings, Outriders! Welcome back to our Spotlight series, where we deep dive on an individual aspect of the game. Today, we scope out our fourth and final class, the Technomancer. Enoch's Anomaly Storms might have fried tech for everyone else, but they unleashed abilities for the Technomancer to infuse powers into weaponry at their will. Thus, this class can exploit technology to the most brutal capacity. You can find timecodes in the description if you want to skip to a specific topic, but we recommend sitting back and absorbing all the information on our machinery manipulating Technomancer.
I have become terror.
You can't find
The unseen predator.
You can't find before.
A rupture that obliterates without warning.
Who is this class for? Technomancers will appeal to a huge spread of players, simply thanks to their enormous versatility. However, the Technomancer's skill set will be utilised best by players who pay special attention to the flow of combat, beyond just raw damage. The status effects that Technomancers can inflict, as well as their boss skill interrupts and their unique ability to heal squad mates, mean that they are suited to fill in support roles. That's not to say Technomancers can't bring the pain. Packing an arsenal of weaponry and their summoning abilities, combined with a strong focus on sniper rifles, mean that they are the ideal class for any players intended to lone wolf their way through Enoch. Fundamentals. Technomancers focus their powers around summoning and indirect sources of damage and effects. Spearheading this playstyle are three core tenets: Ordnance, Gadget, and Decay. Their unique melee power inflicts the Freeze status effect onto those hit by it. Freeze stops an enemy in its tracks, allowing you and your squad mates to focus fire on them. Healing. As we've mentioned in the other class spotlights, the main way to regain health is not via potions or spells, but by playing aggressively. In the Technomancer's case, they recover a portion of the damage they deal to enemies as health. They're a true vampire leech. However, the Technomancer's class passives also increase their damage outputs for both long-range weapons and anomaly power, making sure that the Technomancer's healing passive stays on par with the other classes. Powers. Each Outrider's class has 8 powers in total. You'll start with a single power and will unlock more as you level up. Let's check out 5 of the abilities Technomancer has in their collection. Power 1, Tool of Destruction. Question: do you prefer to riddle your enemies with bullets or turn them into a puff of red smoke? Well, why not both? With Tool of Destruction, you can change your preference whenever you want to. See, Tool of Destruction works a little differently to other skills in Outriders, in that it has alternate modes. Activating the skill via button press equips your Technomancer with a rocket launcher, but activating the skill by holding down the button will instead equip a minigun. However, the rocket launcher has the added bonus of interrupting enemies it damages. Let's watch that clip again. That orange bar means an enemy is charging up a skill, but the RPG interrupts them, preventing them from casting it. Which, particularly when going toe-to-toe with bosses and captains, can mean the difference between victory and a team wipeout. Power 2, Fixing Wave. For those of you who prefer to play as support or healer to your mates, first of all, you're awesome, the world needs more of you. Secondly, Fixing Wave may just be your skill of choice. Fixing Wave is a skill design exclusive to the Technomancer, and is the only power in Outriders that can restore health back to yourself, your constructs, and your allies, regardless of distance. Power 3, Pain Launcher. This is one of a number of the Technomancer's construct skills, and will create an automated defense device to damage enemies independently. Conjuring a missile launcher, this will engage in artillery-esque carpet bombing to not only damage enemies, but interrupt them as well. Bear in mind this gadget has a slight setup delay, so you'll need to tactically time it well. But if you pull it off, you can expect to create some awesome combinations with Pain Launcher. Power 4. Blighted Turret. More of a relentless, continuous damage type of person. Q Blighted Turret, a skill that places, yeah, you guessed it, an automated turret. But not only does this weaponry pour lead into your foes, it also inflicts the status condition Toxic. This deals damage over time and can be used to whittle down their health with hit and run tactics. You could use your turrets offensively through strategic placements to bolster your damage output, such as by flanking enemies. Alternatively, you could drop a turret while falling back to a better position, and it will keep your enemies occupied while you get ready to form your next plan of attack. Power 5. Cold Snap. Cold Snap is a large area of effect skill that will freeze all enemies in place. In an offensive scenario, you can use Cold Snap to wreak havoc with your other skills or regular weapons, especially if you manage to catch enemies when they're clumped together. Defensively, Cold Snap will help you prevent melee attackers from swarming you and getting too close. This is particularly useful for players who prefer sniper rifles and long-range combat. And bear in mind, the Technomancer will feature 3 more powers on top of these first 5. Endless opportunities for computer-based carnage. Power combos. The wide range of powers in Outriders gives so much scope for mixing and matching different combinations. Let's check out one example. So, say you're a lone wolf Technomancer being chased by a group of Poforo. Using Cold Snap will freeze the enemies in place, buying you time to retreat and throw a blighted turret in their midst. While they're distracted and getting toxified, initiate Tool of Destruction to conjure a minigun and mow down any stragglers. Alter your Technomancer. Each class has a tree of class point nodes that you can activate to alter the way your build and skills work. Class points are acquired by leveling up. You can't fill out the class tree entirely, but you will be able to respec your nodes to mix up your playstyle. And there are no costs or penalties. Respec your tree at any time. The 3 branches for the Technomancer are as follows: Pestilence, Tech Shaman, and Demolisher, with each branch providing both major and minor passives that affect your character's type of damage focus and survivability. The Pestilence branch flows best with your decay skills and weapons. It's all about increasing the damage you do with guns and provides great bonuses, particularly to sniper rifles or assault rifles. The Tech Shaman is more focused around indirect damage and will boost your turrets, freeze effects, and healing. Notably, the overclocked passive node here will increase your damage significantly whenever you activate gadget skills, but it will also grant you a second chance. The Demolisher path will synergize with the greatest amount of your skills, and nodes here will mean that using your ordnance or gadget skills will impart a host of bonuses and buffs to you, as well as boost your toxic effect damage. Notably, this path also has a node which will inflict toxic on all enemies that you freeze with your melee attack. As well as this, the equipment you use might also influence the way your skills work. The equipment passives might reduce the cooldown or duration of a skill, or they might alter it on a more fundamental level. And there we have it, an introduction to the Outriders tech whiz, but probably not the one you'd want to help set up Grandma's new phone. This was our 4th and final class, but do check out the other spotlights on Trickster, Pyromancer, and Devastator if you haven't already. So that you don't miss any upcoming videos, make sure you subscribe and have notifications turned on. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.